and welcome to another week of Soap Secrets. We're going to be starting with Coronation Street this week. I think we always start with Coronation Street. I'm not sure why I say that every week, because it just seems to be the thing to do, because Corrie is just so brilliant. Now, this is the first time we can talk about it, isn't it, Claire? Claire's joining me to talk about all the soaps. But it was Johnny that lost his life in the sinkhole from the catastrophe.
It was, and I'm sure you enjoyed the episodes, Hannah. It was an amazing, amazing week. It was just brilliant. And yeah, we had 7 people, as we remember, down in the sinkhole. And we did know that somebody was sadly going to lose their life, and it was Johnny. So yes, it's absolutely shocking. So yes.
It was shocking. It was an amazing... they really pulled it out of the bag. They always do, though, don't they, Corrie?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just... And, of course, last week as well, we saw Nina and Asha hunt down some evidence they thought could put Corrie behind bars and ultimately free Kelly, didn't we?
Yes, this week's really important. We have 2 things going on, 2 really major things going on, Hannah, here. We have, will Corrie be arrested, and we have, will Abi turn up and marry Kevin? So you really must not miss that. And Coronation Street did some lovely pictures of Kevin and Abi in their wedding gear, and they both look lovely. They absolutely look lovely. Abby's in this really lovely dress. She has this amazing bouquet, and we normally see Abi without any makeup on and in her in her mechanics overalls. Yeah. But here she just looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So yes, we saw Nina and Asha hunt down some evidence that they thought that would help put Corrie behind bars, and they found the backpack that contained his blood-stained clothes, Hannah. If Corrie had been a proper criminal, he should really have burned these clothes.
I've disposed of those. That would have been disposed of by now, I think, if he had been a professional.
Yes. Well, he didn't dispose of it properly, and Stu, the homeless man, found it. It was a nice backpack. Why wouldn't he pick it up? He didn't really. It was free. He was found it. So they handed these blood-stained clothes into the police. So this changes everything. They have actual proof. This isn't just you said, I said, and they said. This is actual proof with DNA evidence. So. And so while that's going on, we also have Abi. She's got it's her wedding to Kevin, as I've said this week. But Jack confides in his auntie Debbie. Now Debbie's many things, Hannah, but we do know that Debbie is very, very she's very protective of Kevin, her brother, and she will defend him. And you don't upset Kevin if you want Debbie's wrath. And so Jack says to Debbie that he's worried that Abi is out to kill Corrie. Well, she was out to kill him. She bought a gun. So Debbie confronts Abi this week and gives her an ultimatum to leave Kevin alone and to leave the street. And Kevin catches her packing, and she admits it all. She says, "All right, Kevin, I stole your £2,000 a year, and I bought a gun with it, and I was going to kill Corrie. Nina talked me out of it. These are the woman you love. This is quite a major thing to say. So isn't it, Hannah? It's to admit you were willing to kill someone must put a whole different light on your relationship.
Well, you would think so, but not if you're Kevin, it seems.
No, not Kevin. He says he still loves her, and he begs her to marry him, and he says he and Jack will be at the hotel, and they will both be waiting for her. Will Abi turn up?
Well, will she? You need to tell us. Will she?
Will she? I'm not allowed to say. But the drama isn't over, because Steph and Corey's dad gets wind of the fact that this evidence is with the police, with Corrie, and that the police are going to arrest him, and they make a run for it. So will the police catch Corrie, and will Abi turn up and marry Kevin?
Will she?
I have to say, Hannah, I really like them as a couple, because I know he's Mr. Steady Eddie, isn't he, Kevin? But he gives something to Abi because she's not very steady. So they sort of, They each give each other. She gives him a bit of a spark and he calms her down a bit.
Yeah, and also you kind of need relationships like that, don't you? It's a bit like when Tracy's with anybody. She's been through the whole street really over the years, hasn't she? And she's sort of that sparky character, and she'll pick up one of the plainer ones who have quite a steady life, and she brings them to life. And you kind of need characters like that.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
And I also have to just quickly say that we have a first in TV history this week. It's all over the news. It's COP26 in Glasgow. So the soaps got together.
Yep.
And they are uniting to highlight climate change, and in a TV history first, a character from EastEnders, Corrie, Emmerdale, Hollyoaks, and Doctors will appear in each other's shows.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! That's fantastic.
This isn't just sister shows on the same channel. This is across the channels. Your rivals. It's amazing. So. We're going to see a Hollyoaker appear in Walford, and one of the Doctor's gangs will appear on Cobbles. I'm going to let you spot them, Hannah, because I know you'll want to. All I'll say is watch out for Maria in EastEnders, Maria from Corrie, and I'll let you spot the rest, Hannah.
Okay, great, brilliant, I love it. Okay, I don't know if any of the others can live up to this, but Emmerdale, Charity and Mac come face to face with a villager from the past.
Yes. So kind of Charity and Mac, Hannah, have become, well, they've become the Bonnie and Clyde, really, of the Dales a bit, because Mac's a bit iffy and Charity's always been a bit iffy.
Yeah.
Now, Chloe, we've met Chloe before. She's the sister of Sarah's heart donor. And obviously Sarah is Charity's granddaughter. And Chloe is also the love interest of Charity's son, Noah. Now, so there again, Charity knows of Chloe, and she's realised that Chloe has a rich dad. So they have this massively fancy house, Hannah, massively fancy. And so Charity and Mac think, well, we're going to rob that. Why would you? It's horrible, isn't it? Robbing your son's girlfriend's house is a bit low.
Yeah. It's a bit low, isn't it?
So they've decided they're going to rob the house, and so they break in and they're taken by a display case of very expensive watches, but they're interrupted by the maid, Hannah, and it's none other than Kerry Wyatt.
Oh, really?
Yes, so Kerry's back. We last saw Kerry back in June 2020 when Laura Norton, who plays her, went on mat leave. So she's had like a year and a bit off, and so this is a way of bringing Kerry back in. We've missed her a lot, Kerry. She's a great character, and it was a real shame that she went on mat leave, and so they had to split her and Dan up, which was a shame. So hopefully things we'll get her back into the Dales, and she'll have a great, really good storyline coming up.
Oh, I think she'll have a good storyline, I would think, don't you? And one that will see her kind of, because obviously going on maternity leave kind of, just kind of furloughed her for a little while. But but now she's back with a bang.
Think about with Charity, Hannah, is Chloe's dad isn't a nice man. So has she bitten off more than she can chew? Because Mac manages to sneak one of the watches, so they don't give all the watches back to Kerry. Mac keeps one, and I think that may be a mistake on their part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Charity is no stranger to danger, but still. And of course, it's Andrea's funeral in the Dales as well this week, isn't it?
Yeah. So as we saw in the challenge, in the survival challenge, that Mina murdered her in the maze. That's a great phrase.
The maze.
So it's a maze made from maize. So it was amazing. I hope when you watched it, you suddenly realised that they had that Emmerdale had raging rapids and all sorts, and a big canyon suddenly next to it in the Yorkshire Dales. It was a great bit of photography.
Yeah, absolutely. It really was. I mean, Mina, honestly, but she was spotted, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So Andrea's ex-husband Jamie has disappeared, and we don't know if he is alive or dead.
Nobody knows. That's all I ever ask of Emmerdale when I speak to them. Is Jamie alive or dead? And they won't tell me.
How very rude of them.
I know. So, while he might not be Kim's favourite son. He's her only son, but we know she doesn't think much of him for the Tate Empire. She is hoping that he's alive, and she is hoping that his ex-wife's funeral will flush him out. Now, we don't know whether he's alive or dead. I can't tell you. But he should be there for his daughter Millie, because Millie's lost her mum. You know, and when a car arrives late, who is it?
Who is it?
Who is it? I can't say. Who is it?
And also, you've got something else to tell me, haven't you? Because Mina is at the funeral.
Yes, she is, and she's relishing the pain of the congregation. So she's really a psychopath, because she's sitting there in the midst of this funeral where Andrew was well loved by the whole. The whole village, and her daughter's there, her little daughter. She's a little girl. She's relishing the pain of the congregation. I was quite shocked at that. That is really quite unpleasant.
That's a really sick person, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, we'll leave the Dales right there. On another happy note, Hollyoaks it's a big week for Misbah, isn't it? As the dramatic events the last couple of months finally catch up with her.
Yes. Now, we all know that Misbah, her son Shaq had been looking for his father. Now, Misbah gave up Shaq shortly after he was born, and Shaq suddenly realised that Misbah was his mother, and he wanted to know more about his father. Now, for Misbah, this brings back this. We knew she was hiding something, because she kept lying to Shaq about everything, about who his father was, saying he was dead and all of this. And Shaq finally discovered the identity of his dad, but at what cost to his mum Misbah? And we find out this week at what cost. So this Thursday, there's a medical ball going on, and we see powerful scenes as Misbah slowly comes to terms with the devastating events of her past. With a series of flashbacks, she finally snaps and leaves the ball in hysterics. And her concerned family are in shock. Will she finally admit the horrid truth behind her past with Ali?
Wow, okay.
I think that's going to be a very, very tough watch.
That is going to be a tough watch. But what's even a tougher watch for me is this Operation Bluebird. I'm finding it really unpleasant. When's it going to be discovered? Surely. Is it about to happen?
Well, I think, it must have to go out with a big bang. And I'm not sure that there's a big bang here coming. So Operation Bluebird, as we know, had Fergus putting cameras into rented houses and spying on the young ladies who were living there. It was really horrible. Stalker Timmy, who is stalking Perry. He admitted he had been watching her on camera. And this week, Perry and Juliet are in a park when they're approached by a stranger who knows way too much about them. So not only is Timmy stalking them, but these people who have paid money to watch this footage have worked out where they are and are also stalking Perry and Juliet. So it's really horrible. So something big must happen at some point. And will this shocking extent of Operation Bluebird and Timmy's hidden cameras finally be revealed this week?
Hopefully. Finally, EastEnders.
Yes.
I think we're probably moving towards the final stages of the Grey serial killer storyline, aren't we now? I mean, this has to come to an end at some point, you'd think.
Yes. So, Gray has lost his job. He's working flipping burgers in a restaurant, in a fast food restaurant. So he's not the lawyer, the steady, sophisticated lawyer that first joined the Square. And also his dad's just died. So this week we see a distraught and tipsy Gray ask Chelsea to marry him. No, that's an interesting turn of events.
That is an interesting turn of events, yeah.
What will she say? So Whitney refused to see Gray anymore because he had a scary outburst in front of her, and when he discovered that she knew of Chelsea's pregnancy before he did, because he's a real control freak, so he was really upset that somebody knew about something so important before he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was shocked by his outburst and just won't have any truck with him. So he's all alone and he's struggling to cope with the death of his father. Now, he didn't have a good relationship with his father, but his father's passing has really hit him hard, Hannah, really. And he asks Whit to go to the funeral with him because he still thinks that he's still going down that road. She refuses, and when Chelsea comes around to have a go at Gray because Karen called her a gold digger. I love Karen. And let's be honest, Chelsea is a bit of a gold digger. She ends up having a nice moment, Hannah, and she goes to the funeral with Gray. And after the funeral, when Gray's in pieces and he's had a couple of drinks, he suddenly pops the question to Chelsea.
Okay. Very, very, an odd one. I didn't see that coming either. But the most important news of all for me is Mick's returning this week. Yes,
Mick's back. So as we remember, Mick, Linda, Ollie and baby Annie left the square as soon as Linda had given birth because they feared Max would claim little Annie.
Yeah. But now he's back. He's not with them.
No, he isn't. Well, that's mainly because, of course, Linda, Kelly Bright, who plays Linda, she's obviously on mat leave. So they've brought Mick back alone with little Ollie, and he finds the pub in disarray. Frankie and Nancy are having just a massive argument, and they really don't get on. I think Nancy feels a bit put out with new sister Frankie taking all of Mick's, before he left, taking up all of Mick's time. She felt that Frankie's getting preferential treatment. Frankie feels that that's not happening, and they're always arguing. So he's got to come back to two adult daughters always having a pop at each other. So it's not the quiet pub life he was hoping for.
No, but he's back, and I like it. I feel like he's come home. I really do. I do love Mick. Well, that's it for this week, I'm afraid. But we will be back next week. And in the meantime, stay safe and keep watching the soaps. See you then.